So I wasn't the kid that said, when I'm 18, I'm out of church. I was like hooked. And, but I wanted to be like a cool Christian, which is what I became. So I
True.
wasn't like an overly religious guy. I was like just really Jesusified. I got really into Christ. Southern California, we had it made because there's a movement called Calvary Chapel that was started by Chuck Smith, and that went to over 10,000 people at just one church. And out of his church, he discipled so many amazing guys that all have churches of 7, 8, 9, 10,000 people. So I was around an area where there was a lot of Jesus talk, and like Jesus really changed my life, and that's where I flow from.
It's incredible. And I think that's what a lot of people might get wrong, right? And not wrong per se, because testimonies and God uses all things for good, but like they can't tap into that Jesusification,
Yeah.
whatever, they can't tap in to just that spirit-led piece. And I'm curious, I'm sure you've studied so many different pastors and been a part of so many movements. One that really touched home for me in the last several years has been with Francis Chan. And so what is your perspective on like that home church understanding, knowing that you were actually founded in a church with your family?
Yeah, I think Francis Chan is phenomenal, great leader, great mind. So, when I went to seminary, to a Christian university, I never knew that God would give me such a big platform. I just went there to learn about the things of God so I could go help the underdog, because I'm primarily a humanitarian. But as I begin to see all these different streams of the way things are done in the church, some of them I took to, and a lot of them I did not. But I was never vocal about what did not fit my appetite. I just did things in what I call the Jesus style. And I found that worked wherever I took it. So whether from the Hollywood Bible study that I started in 1992 at the house of a legend and began to touch the biggest names in Hollywood, like the older people, and then began to help, some of the younger people. And then to this day, now I life coach over 300 entertainers. But that was not anything that I ordered from life's menu. I believe it was an assignment from God.
That is incredible. Ordering from life's menu. How many times do people see something and they're like, that's for me, right? And it's actually not God's will or intention at all. And they end up going on this path and they can't get off of it, or yet they seem like they're in such momentum or a rat wheel that they don't have the ability to. And I think when I think through the miracle mentality, like that could be the messy, that could be the mundane, that could be everything except for the miracle. How have you seen some of the people that you've coached, or just people in general who have done this, and how do you help them get off into the miracle mentality mindset?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for going through the book so many times and being a friend to me and the book, which is doing quite well. But I think that, life is actually more simple than we make it. I think the outside things that we face on a daily basis is what complicates what God has put inside of us. So when you go down to Ephesians 2:10, and it says, for we are God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus to do, that's an action word, good works. So what has God called Tamra to do? Good works. What has God called Tim Storey to do? Good works. So you being a family woman, you being a good wife, you being a good spokesperson for God, those are all part of the good works. So me serving people in all these countries as a humanitarian who is spirit-filled, that's good works. All the other stuff is pressure that's usually not coming from anything that has to do with God.